What we have here is a 16-foot Polar Craft John boat, flat bottom. It's an old one. It's got the two-piece hull design where they joined it in the middle. It's got, like I said, a short transom here. Right now we have an extension for this outboard that's sitting on it. The trailer doesn't really come with the boat. The one it had was kind of, well, it wasn't really made for it. So we've got a different trailer, picked it up cheap, put little side brackets on here, ordered them from one of the catalog outfits. Now we have to fix up the bottom of the trailer yet. As you can see, it's sitting kind of old. Yeah, it's got some old wood on it from before. Got some rollers, so we're gonna do what we can to fix her up, at least make her usable for this duck season. The whole idea behind this project is to make a boat usable for duck season. We want it to shoot 3 people comfortably. We're also gonna make sure that we can use it for next spring for fishing, river fishing, early fishing, whatever. You don't want to be wasting a good boat half the year. So here we go. What I've done so far is I've removed the front seat and I've replaced that with just a piece of 1x10 treated right here. I put brackets on the side of the boat using the holes whenever possible from the seat. You can see right in here where I've put bolts in the old holes from the seat. Some of them still have the rivets in them. Leave the braces and then just use the old bolt holes. Put that bracket on there. Now I've not only put this piece of wood in here, but I've put a piece of angle iron in here also. It's just a cheap channel you can buy anywhere. I bolted that on. I connected it to the brackets mounted to the side of the boat, and that way there it'll keep the boat from spreading and twisting. You got to do that. Once you take a seat out, it changes the integrity of the hull, so you got to keep it from twisting. Now I've added 1.5 inch styrofoam here, the rigid type. It comes up even right here with the tops. You can see it right here. It comes up even with the top of the ribs. It doesn't fit perfectly tight, but it doesn't have to. I'm putting metal over right down the middle of it. Some of these I had to join the pieces together. You know, they didn't fit just right. So put the metal down the middle of it. That is also because that's where most of our standing is going to be during duck season. What we'll be doing is putting a rubber mat over this. I left this seat in here again just to keep the boat rigid. We don't really need to take it out. We have right now 3 different shooting compartments, one in the back here, one in the middle, and we'll have one in the front. What we're going to do is start right underneath this board right here, right down here, and we're going to come right up through here with a piece of plywood, and that piece of plywood is going to end up hitting the metal right in here. So basically it's going to give us a nice flat little floor in here, and we'll show you how we're going to do that in a little while here. I've been pop riveting this metal down to the ribs right here just to hold it in place. Then we're going to cover it up with some black plastic. I drilled holes in this the other day, but didn't have the proper size drill for the pop rivet, so a different bit. Let's give her a shot here. Alright. Standard little pop rivet. In she goes. Hold her down. There we go. Make sure you save these little cutoffs here. Don't want those laying around going in tires. A couple more here. Is nothing more than just some little pieces of tin. I'm going to drill a hole through them just to hold this down. Reason being, the matting we're putting in here is actually nothing but carpet runner. It's pretty thin, pretty floppy. It's not going to do much to hold these pieces down in case we get water in the boat or whatever. If we get water in the boat, too much of it, for whatever reason, this styrofoam will probably float up out of here. Well, we're going to have something to hold it down. And why isn't this working? There we go. So these will help hold it down. It'll hold it in place while we're doing other stuff here too. That just takes a couple minutes. Throw them in, little chunks of tin I had laying around the place. I have a lot of that junk laying around. The rib up here, up front, just in front of this board right here. So what we want to do is put a shim piece on that. So let's see here. There's plenty to stand on. So, okay, now I put these pieces of wood in here. You're going to notice there's a little gap there, a little gap here, a little gap on the other end. All that's for is to let any water run through there. So now I'm going to screw this down. When you put these screws in, pull them down into the wood. Get them down if you can flush or a little bit below the wood. Okay. One more here. Oops. Drills like these DeWalt's and whatnot, where you on the chuck to tighten them down, all you're doing is taking that drill just like this, loosen it up like that, or tighten it up like that. Use the drill bits that have this head on them right here. It's just a lot easier to tighten up the drill in there. Set. When I come to lay the plywood in here, the plywood is just going to sit right across here and hit the front of the boat up there. You can see it where it hits the front of the boat right here. Okay, and then right back there underneath my stiffening board, I guess we would call it, that 1x10, when I put the piece of plywood in, I'll see how big the gap is there, and I'll put a little filler piece underneath the plywood, let it sit on top of the styrofoam.